Frosmoth. This is a new Pokemon found in the Galar region. We're going to be talking about this Pokemon's potential in VGC 2020 double battle format. This video will not contain every possible strategy, but as a community in the comments we can work together to figure this thing's potential out. Let's get into why. So Frosmoth's abilities: it gets Shield Dust and Ice Scales. Shield Dust states damaging moves used by opponent will not have an additional effect. Ice Scales states the Pokemon is protected by Ice Scales, which have the damage taken from special moves. Hard to tell which is better at this point because Shield Dust makes you immune to flinches from Fake Out or Rock Slide, and the burn paralysis and freeze chances from elemental moves, while Ice Scales has the damage from special attacks. If you want a more bulky set, Ice Scales is probably the way to go. If you want maybe the sweeper set, Shield Dust is a possibility to avoid Fake Out pressure. Now, I believe Shield Dust makes it immune to Fake Out. If I'm wrong, let me know. Taking a look at its stats, its base stats are 475, which is not the greatest. It has some slow speed stats, so it could potentially function in Trick Room depending on how you train it. It has decent special defense bulk, especially with the Ice Scales ability, but it's lacking defensively. It could potentially use partners with the ability Intimidate or the ability Friend Guard to help with the survivability. Or it could be paired with Pokemon that can use Dynamax move Max Steel Spike, which raises allies' defense stat. In terms of its moveset, Frosmoth has a lot of options. If you want to go offensive, you probably want something like Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, Ice Beam, and Protect. Otherwise, you can swap any of those moves out for Giga Drain or get Dazzling Gleam, or any other move depending on your team composition. The cool thing is I think this mon can work well in rain teams because its 4 times weakness to fire will be mitigated. So on a rain team you could run maybe Hurricane. Also on an ice team you could run Blizzard, where it would hit really hard after a Quiver Dance. And it can use Aurora Veil and Hail to set up that big defense. For support moves you have Helping Hand, Icy Wind, Wide Guard, Tailwind, Aurora Veil. And it also gets access to U-Turn, but since it's not a physical attacker I did not include it in here. However, it could have some use. Next, we got potential partners. We're going to start it off with Gigantamax Lapras. This is arguably the best mon to support Frosmoth because its G-Max move, G-Max Resonance, does damage and it sets up Aurora Veil upon use, giving Frosmoth some survivability and chance to quiver up. Next, you got Clefairy, which gets access to the move Follow Me, which redirects moves to itself. This lets Frosmoth set up, but it also gives Frosmoth some survivability because Clefairy's ability Friend Guard, which reduces damage to ally Pokemon by 25%. So you could EV train your Frosmoth to survive some Rock Slides from T-Tar and give it a weakness policy and start boosting up. Duraludon is also a great potential partner because it's a good switch into the Steel, Flying, Rock, and Fire type moves, which Frosmoth is weak to. Plus, if you Gigantamax this Duraludon and use Max Steel Spike, you can boost Frosmoth's defense. Intimidate users like Hitmontop and Arcanine are great potential partners because they give Frosmoth some survivability. You also got Fake Out users like Hitmontop Leopard, which help Frosmoth set up. Whimsicott and Leopard are also fake tier users, and they're pranksters, so you can let off a fake tiers with priority and then fire off a strong attack with Frosmoth after. I also think Butterfree could be a good potential partner because of Sleep Powder and Rage Powder. I know these two Pokemon are really weak to Rock Slide, but Frosmoth gets access to Wide Guard, so there could be some shenanigans going on there. Next, I think Frosmoth can do really well in weather teams. Seismitoad is a good partner because it resists Rock, Steel, Fire, which Frosmoth is weak to. Rain with Seismitoad, Swift Swim, Pelipper, and whoever you deem fit to join. And like I said earlier, Frosmoth gets access to Hurricane, which is good in rain, and its fire weakness is mitigated. For items, I think Focus Sash could be pretty good. Maybe a Charty Berry for weakening rock super effective attacks, depending on your team composition, or maybe a Life Orb to hit harder. I was also thinking maybe Rocky Helmet to punish those with physical attacks, or maybe even something like Grassy Seed and Grassy Terrain to boost your defense. You know, who knows? You can experiment with a bunch of different items. I'll leave this open to comments. Let me know what you think would be a good item for this mon. Overall, this Pokemon doesn't have a lot of coverage moves to make it next level sweeper, and its lackluster defense stat make it an average support mon. However, this Pokemon does have some great abilities in Shield Dust and Ice Scales, and paired up with the right Pokemon and the right strategies, I can see this being a threat. Therefore, I give it a 7 out of 10 right now, mostly because of its poor stats, but never know, it can have a niche spot on the right team. But that's it for my video, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, give a like, subscribe, and let me know what Pokemon you want to see in the next video for this VGC Analysis series. Thank you, and I hope you have an awesome day.